believe sound is a critical storytelling tool in any form, whether it's film or TV or video games. So you have the visuals, but without sound to help sell those visuals, the immersion is completely broken.
I think the overall dark fantasy vibe of the game, coupled with the idea of this curse that's infecting the creatures of Isla, goes hand in hand with using metal influences in the overall sound direction for the game. Representing the idea of cursed creatures with distorted metal vocals, it was a really effective way of storytelling.
You can really feel it in some of the characters, especially characters like Kristala. That's one thing that I think that makes the character great, is you can hear the humanity in him, but something's definitely wrong.
When the player finds his dialogue pickups in his cave area, his vocal delivery is fairly clean and clear, but as his corruption progresses, his voice starts to get more and more distorted and gritty. Eventually, when the player fights him, the full effect of those distorted metal vocals are shown.
When I got the lore, I tried to captivate everything that they needed to bring the character to life and also represent the genre the way that I believed I should by doing staple sounds that I used from song to song and my own kind of identity to the character.
For like a cursed or tormented being, I really wanted to play on the viciousness of the efforts and the grunts and stuff. You're not just trying to achieve a goal, you're doing so with force, with anger, with heat. There was a couple of those elements to it for me.
Being a boss in a video game is just really rad. You can't ask for a much cooler experience.
There are characters where we did actually use two different performers to create their sound to kind of blend together and drive a little bit of a chorus effect. The main one would be Saphiel. We wanted to make sure we had a scream that sounded ghostly and otherworldly.
My experience voicing Saphiel was really interesting. I have a very set way that I do screams, and so recording vocals for a video game helped me explore different ways to create screams. I was really excited to play around and see what kind of sounds I could make.
I think Saphiel's design really did it for me because I am a very visual person. She had these chains on her, and you could just tell that she was tethered to something that felt deeply painful to her. I tried to really convey the fact that she might be evil, but she is somebody who is suffering.
For Saphiel specifically, she is the conjurer of screams. So it's raw, it's just power, it's as loud as you can go. So that's how I approached it, was just thinking about how raw and powerful the conjurer of screams is.
Whenever we heard some of the recordings coming back, it was pretty obvious that these fit well. Like Lofi was our first boss, and he sounded so good. So once we took those gurgles and screams and we turned them into a giant menacing fish, we knew right away it was going to be great.
So with the texture I was going for, I wanted it to sound slimy, wet, because it's a fish dude. That's also what kind of influenced the emotion with it. If you were a fish and all of a sudden you have humanoid appendages, you're on land, you're breathing air, you're existing with the weight of gravity, I wanted even the smallest things to have this big vocal push, like it really hurt to exist.
To me, the most challenging part of turning humans into creatures is the processing. Obviously, we're using EQ and compression and distortion, and we're just using your basic processing tools. I work in Reaper, and I will then bring the audio into Wise. We create multiple variations of every sound, and finally, we bring it into Unreal Engine. By that time, the processing's already done, and we're just working more on timing and how the sound event is actually triggered.
Hearing those gritty, distorted screams and roars really gave me the confidence to push those metal influences in the soundtrack, particularly for those boss fight sections. It's been really fun to try and really hit hard with those metal inspirations, creating some heavy-hitting rhythm guitar sections alongside those typical intense drum grooves. So for me, when we discussed the idea of bringing in metal vocalists for creature sounds, I was really excited to try and bring that influence into the soundtrack too.
I'm gonna slide up this fader.
I think Kristala's world embodies what a lot of metal is about. It's a little gothic, it's a little horror-based, but it's also heroic. And I think that having the metal injection is something that really lends to the overall experience for the player.
I'd really love for players to feel that their journey through Isla is equally represented by the music, from the more somber, melancholic discoveries to exploring the magical, whimsical towns, all the way through to the curse-filled areas and those intense boss fights. So I really hope the players will enjoy this and that it helps them really immerse themselves in the world of Isla.